Hey guys, how's everyone? I'm back for part 2. So last time we did the journal pages, we talked about the cover, we did some fun touches in those journal pages, and then at the end we got our binding ready and punched our sets of holes with the cinch. Now I'm going to punch holes in the cover with Fear and Trembling because this is pretty thick. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I think worst comes to worst, I could use my awl, but I'm really hoping this works. So this is what it's gonna look like. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. I don't know, it's scary. That's all I gotta say. So let me get my cinch back up here. I'm going to put this at 7 1/4. We're going to use the same settings because this is the same size. I guess worst comes to worst, this will mark it. Oh, this is scary. Oh my goodness, that's a powerful machine. That is a powerful machine. Look at that. Oh Lord, I am excited. Let's do the same thing. Put this at 3. Pull out that last one. Make sure that's pushed in. Oh my goodness. I think I have a new friend in my craft room. Would my crocodile do that? I think it would. Yeah, I think you could probably get through that with a crocodile. Let's start again. 7 1/4. Okay, beautiful. Okay, yes, this was definitely worth the money for me, and I can't even remember what I paid for it at this moment. I got to figure out how to take out those little pieces that I know are gathered inside now. I have to get the directions out because that's probably important to get that cleared out. All right, well, there's some right there, but that's all right. So unfortunately I did not press play when I glued this on. So basically I just took some Fabri-Tac and glued the inside to the outside. Sorry about that, guys, but anyway, I realized that before we sew this, I need, because I wanted to use this for the inside cover, I'm like, why don't I just punch holes in that? And then that can become part of this, right? I'm going to, let me just take a peek at the dimensions. Guess it would be good if it was just a little bit smaller. I think I need to take just a tiny bit off. Why not see that beautiful green book? All right, yeah, that's great. That's really good. Let's get everything done. Now I couldn't make a copy of this for my Etsy page because this was a design. This is a stencil from Dangles, so that's why because this was actually my favorite, but this is copyrighted, so you can only do papers that you used dye. A couple of them I used like dish drainer mats, and it's okay, I will make copies of those because those weren't intended to be designs. And I also used those rug mats, those mesh type mats. I used that, and that really works well too for making a pattern. I want to make sure that that's down. That top is a little bit higher. You know what I can do? Yeah, I can do this. Razor knife, and I'm just going to take a little sliver off of that. See if I can lift that up. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, good. That makes me happy. Here we go. This is fun. There it is. Okay, so now comes sewing in this beautiful cover. Barbara used a chain stitch, and I am gonna put Barbara's video on here. I think it'd be great. If you haven't seen it, it's such a terrific video. It's definitely worthwhile watching. So I thought that this would be a nice color embroidery floss to use. We are going to do, see? I think that's nice. 5 lengths for these, and then I want to sew the signatures with the same embroidery floss. So I hope I'm going to have enough, and we are going to find out right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's for the binding. The signatures are 3 times, and I have 4 of them, so I need 12 lengths, right? 9, 10. I have enough. Yay! Okay, we'll put this to the side right now. I am actually going to take this candle. I like doing this, especially with embroidery floss, because it wants to separate. And I just kind of pull it down and just add a little bit of wax to that thread, and it just kind of makes it stay together a little better. All right, I am going to use this needle threader because the embroidery floss sometimes is very hard to get all those 5 strands through there. So we're just going to make it easy on ourselves, and why not? If you have a tool, right? Why not use it? Look how easy that was. This is looking great. So we're going to start on the inside. We're going to simply come up through, leave a little bit of a tail to get that anchored at the top, and then we're going to do that 2 more times. Time here, and let's go 1 more time. Let's make sure everything looks good. See, you want to check it, make sure everything is nice and lined up. And now let's go ahead and tie this. Okay, I'm going to do a little double knot, and I am going to add a little dot of glue to that. This is going to go quick. Wait till you see how quick this goes, because look at the size of the hole, right? So we're going to go through to the next hole. If you have a blunt needle, it's better because you don't really want to split those threads. You can always take it and go in through the back. That's another little trick if you don't have a blunt needle. So just go in through that. So you're just making a loop through there. So what it does is it just kind of makes a little knot there. Like go through, come up again. So when I go through here, I'm going to go through twice. And believe me, it would be worth having a blunt needle. It's kind of a pain in the neck to go in backwards. I just couldn't find mine. Yeah, I like that because it really does hold it in place. So I'm just trying to do this so you guys can see it. I can also zoom in. And on the back cover, I'm just going to go like that and try not to pierce the thread. I've got my finger on the back like that, holding tension as I'm going. Just going to go through 1 more time. So I'm not really, if I wanted to, I could come through here, and that would make like a little half hitch. Let's try it. Just changing things up here. Go through. I mean, when you look at this hole, there's nothing that's holding that in there because it's huge. I want to just do that little extra step. And go through. Actually, so if we just do that, yeah, that's it. So when you get there, you go through. If you guys want to do it like that, just a little extra reassurance, I think. Oh yeah, totally locks it in. And I think I should have plenty of thread to get all the way down. Okay, so we're at the bottom now. We want to do our wraps again. But we're going to come up, and we're going to do that one more time. Okay, and then let's go back, and right here, wow, I just had enough, just enough. Here's where we're going to do our little half hitch also, and I need a little bit more thread there. Let's do it again. And I think I'm going to do it 1 more time, and I have just enough embroidery thread left. There we go. A little dot of glue. Oh, we did it. Oh, man. Geez, I need a cup of coffee after that. I'm gonna go make myself a cup of coffee and I'll be right back. But take a peek at this, guys. That's nice. Great. Oh. Okay, I have my coffee and I'm gonna do the second side off camera. You guys don't need to see me do that again. So we'll just get this waxed up. Then I can just leisurely drink my coffee and have fun with this, sewing this in. Okay, I was actually able to trim this down. I had it a lot bigger because I did a binding for the whole back of the binding, but actually it was kind of goofy because it was hard for me to determine how much space in between. So I think if I had to do it over again, I would have done just the binding and then the canvas binding separately. I don't know, it might have made more sense to layer that in. So I had to adjust my lines a little bit. I cut the edges off and adjusted my lines so they're 1.5 centimeters between each. So I've got top written there. I'm going to go ahead and get this paper clipped in like I like to do. And I don't want these to be crooked because you can see these on the outside of this. So I really hope that these are going to be straight. That's why I'm just taking my time and doing this part. That looks good to me. Look at how beautiful that looks. Oh, isn't that nice? With those chain stitches. Let's go ahead and put our holes through. So when I went to the retreat in Salt Lake City, we used the canvas for a journal cover. And let me tell you, it is kind of like a new favorite thing. Other than my cinch, of course. That's my absolute new favorite thing. That cinch is great. Yeah, the canvas, right? And then you can add fabric to it. We added a little piece of a snippet roll to it and made that our cover. But sure, you can do anything with that canvas cover. Let's see what it looks like from the other side. Make sure that we can see all of our holes, and when there's a design, that's when it gets a little tricky. So let's just make sure that we can see everything. All right, so now we just need one of these. So let's just use this one since this is on. There's the top. The only thing I wanted to make sure was these two are pretty similar. So I think that's nice to kind of do it that way. Let's look at the centers. Oh, that's perfect. Yep, I think we'll do it this way. So I've checked my papers. Everything is where it should be. Got all my things. Make sure everything is really nice down in there. We'll get this top, goes to top. Let's just go ahead and give that a little bit of a clip. Here we go. I am so happy that I'm doing this. Can't even tell you. And I'm just going to do one at a time. I'll just put the holes in them as I go. So we'll put this off to the side. I'm going to start with the first row. So we'll start in the middle. We've got 5 holes. Start in the middle. We'll start here. And we'll just do our figure 8 all the way down and up. And let me take a sip of this and move it. Because I can see myself spilling that, and that would not be very fun. Okay, so we leave ourselves a little bit of a tail, and then we're going to just make our way up and through. S through. Sometimes it's kind of tricky getting through. Okay, there we go. All right. It always seems like the first signature is the hardest for some reason. It just is floppy. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so we get into this place, we're going to skip the middle hole and we're going to go down to the next one, right through. Come in through the bottom, our last hole. Trying to keep things as tight as possible. Down through. Okay, and back up through the middle. Let's see if we can find our way back up. There it is. So you want to be on the other side, and let's make sure everything is nice and tight. Nice straight line. Everything is very tight. There. Nice. Okay, our first signature is in. This is exciting. Okay, so there we go. We've got 2 in. I'm going to sew the next 2 off camera and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I think it was more of a mental health break from sewing in signatures. Do you like my little tassels? Anyway, here they are. All 4 signatures are sewn in. I'm just kind of letting them find their new home in their journal. And the last 2 signatures were easier to sew in than the first 2. I ended up clipping 2 of them very close to the end, and I think that made a difference with the last 2, putting the paper clips way down near the seam, and I think it made a big difference. So yeah, I'm super happy with this. I just wanted to show you how this lays flat so nicely. It's really a great binding. I'm very happy with it. I'll be doing a lot more bindings like this. Very, very happy. And I decided I wanted to put a tassel on the back. And I did a video a while ago on making paper beads, and then I made tassels out of them to show you how you can apply them in your junk journaling. So I'm just picking one out here and thought that I would layer it on with one of those paper tassels. And then I was trying to figure out the best way to apply that and thought, well, why don't I put a hole in there with an eyelet? So, yeah, I love that. That's what we did. We got out the crocodile and just put an eyelet in here. I thought I might as well use a nice bright color. You could use an awl to do this as well. And the eyelets come on Amazon with a little puncher kit. You don't have to buy a crocodile. I use mine a lot, so for me it's really worth it. But you can buy the little punch kit. So I used a piece of embroidery floss and just made a little loop to hold my bulb pin and my tassels. Yeah. That binding was very complimentary, I think, for those journal covers. And then I had some autumn ephemera that I had made from a couple videos ago, and I thought, why not? Let's put some of this in here. So I just did like 3 or 4 pieces. I glued them in, just a tuck spot and a couple pockets, I think. And then used a couple of those cute tags from my pumpkin video. Yeah, that belly band is super, super cute. So I had a couple more things I thought I might try to find a home for. That little pocket. And I'm just going to glue it so I can put a tag down behind the pocket as well. So it's a double pocket. There's a really fun journal card, and I had bought these little brass numbered, kind of like paper clip things, and I got one. I'm using the 10 for the month of October, so I just pinned that in there. Okay, I had a couple more things I wanted to do. One of them was, in one of my videos, I told you that I like saving these when you die cut any kind of a die cut negative, because they're really fun to use, like to make a collage. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. So if you put it over a nice design, let's see, like that actually might be pretty. It really blends in with that picture. And now one last thing, I took an embossing folder and embossed a piece of this. I just wanted to see what it would look like, and I'm going to make this tiny little paper pad. See how cool that is? And then I just put some white splatter on it. I don't know the name of the embossing pad. It's like a little forest scene. So simply, I just cut some papers. I'm going to use my little tiny attacher. I wanted to put a piece of washi tape across the top. Then I'm going to staple it, glue it in, and we're just going to actually fold that over one of the pages. You'll see. I'm going to show you in a second. It's very simple. Simple little thing, but I wanted to use that. Just like that. This is going to get glued in. These are fun little gifts too for friends, I think. Just to make them a sweet little pad like that. Who wouldn't want that, right? And then I just got this pretty little leaf that I thought that I would put on the front here. I'm actually going to put a little brad through it, just to kind of put that up there like that. And you can kind of move that where you want it. Okay, let's find a place for this cute little pad. I just thought I would flap it over a page, and that might just be cute. Got stuff going on there. What I was thinking was just going like this, putting it in there like that, and maybe even, let's put a little clip in there. I got these little rusty paper clips from Triple V Vintage. Aren't they cute? I love these things. We'll put that on there like that, I think. Yeah. All right. Well, let me just clean up a little bit, and then we'll just take one final look at this cute little journal that I almost left laying on the shelf for a year. Okay. We are finished with the second half of this video. I'm super happy with using canvas, the cinch, the chain stitches. Thank you, Barbara, for that idea. It's just a really nice way to finish a journal. Very happy that I finally did something with this beautiful little journal. And yeah, just a beautiful fall journal with some fun colors, a little painty, stampy here and there, but I am going to put this on Etsy probably in a couple of days after the video comes out. Keep an eye out for it if you're interested. This will be really fun to add your own personal touch to, and I would be very happy for someone to want and have a beautiful home for this journal. So anyway, guys, thank you for following me, subscribing, commenting. That all means so much to me with my small channel. There's really fun, exciting days ahead. Anyway, love you guys. See ya. Bye.